All right. Why does that look crooked? Mm-hmm. Welcome, everybody. I knew I heard you jump down, Ezzy. I knew it. I'm cracking up. You are hilarious. How did you know? How did you know? She is trained. This is a trained show cat. I love you. I love you too. Good morning. How did you know? There's no way she can hear me click these buttons. She has to be able, from a sound sleep, because I've been looking for her for an hour. I couldn't find her anywhere. She hears me say, like, hey, everybody, or I don't know what the hell I said, but it's like I can hear a thump, and then here she comes running. So hilarious. All right, welcome, everyone. We are going to go ahead and get into this today. In just a minute because I am running a bit behind. So please forgive any delay going on here. Welcome everyone on Instagram. Looks all right. Welcome everyone on TikTok. That's insanely crooked. But something's wrong with my pod. So I'm not even going to try to fix that today. I really cannot care. Okay, Mercury's in retrograde. I'm hanging on by a thread. I have like 6 Gemini placements. So it is what it is. I'm just happy things are actually working, okay, with the tech here. So, yes, Ezzy, I love you. I love you. Come on up here. Come join us. Come sit. Come sit, mama. All right. Welcome, everyone, then on Instagram. Welcome, everyone on TikTok. Thank you so much for the hearts on TikTok. And welcome everyone here on YouTube at Ask Ivy, the medium. We're going to be taking your yes or no questions tonight. This is the yes or no question show. It is unlimited. I can't do that all the time, but I can do it tonight. So if you have multiple questions you need answered, go ahead and get them in. Drop your $10 donation. It's $10 per question, and do include the first name or the initials of anyone specific that you're referring to. If it's like an address or a new job or something like that. Okay, I would also appreciate if you could include the first name or at least the initials of whatever it is that you're referring to. And I do want to give a quick shout out to my YouTube members: MeLove716, Chaley, Nature Calls You, Terry Cruz, Yolanda, Marsha, Anna, Angie, Vanessa, Mackenzie, Jennifer Cole, Jennifer Barone, Abby, Stella, Kim, Shauna, Demetris, CJG, Maraid, Tristan, Andrea M, Denise Bennett, Jayla Beans, Edgar, Melissa, Christine Watts, Miami Heat, Deanna, and Language Through Connection. Thank you so much for your continued support. And if you want to become a YouTube member, go on to my YouTube channel at Ask Ivy the Medium. Hit the join button. It'll show you the 3 different tiers of membership options. My members receive things like a monthly horoscope, a weekly spirit message, a monthly personal email reading, which literally pays for the entire subscription itself, and ouch, and a monthly mini class, an Ask Ivy exclusive show, and more. All right, so totally worth it. We have a ton of fun. Good stuff. This month's mini class is actually tomorrow. So if you go ahead and become a member, and this is for all 3 tiers, all right? So regardless of how much, you can spend on your membership option, you're going to be able to get in on the monthly mini class. So tomorrow's class is called Tools for Discernment, Using Your Clairvoyance for Better Judgment. So I'm always teaching you how to use your intuition. Thank you, Diana. We can take that down. Yeah. All right. So we're doing that 9 p.m. Eastern. And you guys can always go back and watch the class. A lot of my members do, so it gets posted afterward. Just a couple quick announcements here while we let everyone tune in. My Coffee with Your Angels class is on Tuesday. So that's going to be March 10th. If you haven't already done so, get yourself registered for that. This is where one of my oldest classes, I'm always making reference to it, but this is the one where I educate you on the 2 different angels appointed to you before you come to Earth, what they're here to help you with, how they communicate, and then you meet each one of them individually. Oh my goodness. Come up here and say hi to everybody. Come on up here. Come jump up here. And it's revolutionary. All right. Also, Hauntings, Clearings, and Detachments class is on the 31st. So that's also Tuesday. That's coming up in a couple weeks. Registration is now open for both. You can attend. Thank you, Diana. You can take that down. You can attend here in person at the Ivy League Psychic Academy online with the rest of us. That's what most people are going to do. Or you could just get the video download afterward. You also don't have to wait. These classes are always available up on my website. So you'll get the 2025 version of it. Okay. And Hauntings, Clearings, and Detachments, another class I'm often referring to, is going to train you in high vibrational spirits versus low vibrational spirits, the different types of entities, earthbounds, demonic, elementals, whatever it is. Okay. Shapeshifters, shadow people. I mean, on and on and on. Okay. So I break all of the different characters down, and then you will know by the end of class who or what in your life is dealing with paranormal activity, attachments, possessions. If you yourself are dealing with this, we're going to then get into the tools on how to correct it, how to heal it, how to get things in order. All right. And it's absolutely foundational. I mean, you really have to know, every human should know what's going on with high versus low vibrational energies in the universe, how to protect yourself from it, and not get involved, preferably. So check that out. Also, Reiki training, levels 1 and 2, as well as your masters. I'm taking everybody in for this course. And a lot of people are like, well, how do you do that? How could you possibly train masters? I've been doing this for many, 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 many years. Okay. So I have a whole system that I designed where we've got masters training with the 1 and 2s, and everybody's learning a lot more when I do it that way. So even if you weren't here for your 1 and 2, I know a lot of people would never let you in to get your masters with them if you didn't get your 1 and 2 with them. I don't do that. If you have proof of your 1 and 2, wherever you learned, it's not necessary, okay, for you to come and take 1 and 2 with me. I will bring you right in for your masters, but a lot of people would prefer to take the 1 and 2 here, and then just move on up from there. So registration is closing March 9th, and Reiki training is March 14th. Okay, so I hope to see you there for that. I do think I'm coming down with something, so bear with me. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I really wanted to get into here today. Get on the mailing list. Yeah, that's okay, Diana. We can take that down. Get on the mailing list. We are seeing a decrease in social media activity. Like, people are getting back into organic communication and whatnot. And with a lot of the, thank you for the hearts on TikTok, with the way some of our social media is being crippled out, due to new ownership and what have you. More and more people are asking to be on the newsletter, so you can receive updates on like where I'll be publicly, public shows that I'm doing, psychic fairs that I'm attending, or psychic fairs that I'm actually running and hosting, Ivy League psychic fairs, upcoming classes, live shows, coupons, updates here on the property, on the 1882 Victorian Funeral Home, the haunted house on the Haunted History Trail of New York State. Everything goes into the newsletter. I do not send it out very often because I'm not that organized. So maybe once a month, every month and a half, at best. All right. So you're not going to get bombarded if you get on my newsletter. You're not going to be hearing from me every 30 minutes about something else I think you need to try. So it's safe. All right. So go to Ivy Rivera at Yahoo and just put newsletter in the title and we'll get you added onto that. Also, my symbology book is going to be coming out soon. If you want to get on the early bird waitlist for that, do the same thing. Email me at revivrivera at Yahoo and say, add me in the title, and I'll know exactly what that means. Okay, we'll get you added to the early bird waitlist. All right, let's go ahead and get into this tonight. I feel like everything's crooked, making me a little nuts. I don't know what I want to look like. Okay, that's fine. Welcome, everyone. I'm Ivy Rivera. I'm a psychic medium, a Taino arrow walk. This is the yes or no question show. Tonight is unlimited. Can't do it all the time, but I can tonight. So you're going to drop your $10 donation and ask your question. You can drop a $10 donation per question, but you can ask as many questions as you want tonight. I do ask that you include the first name or at least the initials of any one or any very specific thing like a property or a job or a relocation opportunity that you are referring to. Make sure you are typing your question out so that it makes sense for Diana, my beautiful producer. She is going to be taking your questions from wherever you are tuning in from. Now, we've had some, people lately giving Diana a hard time. This was also happening with Kim, my other producer, and I have addressed it now twice. I'm going to do it one more time here. If you drop your $10 donation and you think that that means that you're next, it isn't. Okay, because this is a show for the public, not just for you. So Diana will put your name up on the screen here on YouTube. And if you're a very nervous person, like you simply cannot wait, and you're on one of the other platforms, go ahead and switch over to YouTube so you can stay calm and you can patiently wait your turn. Okay. Also, if you ask like 4 or 5 questions, you're more than welcome to do that. But don't try to pressure Diana into getting all of your questions answered at once. It doesn't work that way. Again, this is a show for the public, not just for you, okay? And we are working from 3 different platforms. So please be patient, be respectful. And if you are concerned that you were, I don't know, your payment didn't go through or there is a problem with your question, feel free to reach out to Diane in the comment section. She'll be keeping an eye and she will be more than happy to attend to that concern. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this. What do we have coming up? Anna Pekka is first. Anna Pekka. Will my dating life pick up in March or April? I'm hearing no, not in the way that you're thinking of it, but there could be someone more special that would be worth talking to. This may end up being more of a friendship. So again, I'm going to say no as far as the dating life is concerned, but I see romantic potential. I think that this could be someone of greater value, certainly than the people you had been talking to. This person may just be looking for great conversation. This person may just be looking for a little intellectual stimulation. They may not be 100% positive that they want to get involved, in a relationship. And it can be a situation where you're saying, okay, well, I know what I want. And so if they don't want a serious relationship and that's what I want, then this isn't for me. Okay, but I would be a little bit careful with that because there are more valuable people to have in your life right now than like the people who would be interested in dating. All right. And that includes this person. I would love to see this friendship bloom into something more. And we also need to always remember that the most important long-term, right, valuable romantic partnerships that really stand the test of time always say in the end, this person is my best friend, or he was always my friend first. Okay, or we started as friends. Like, it's really important. So I think this is a time for you to focus more on friendship and dating than dating and dating, if that makes sense. So no, I don't see like a massive increase coming in here of value, That doesn't mean that you won't be attracting people that you could talk to, okay? But they seem to be very short term. Yeah. Yes, hello, hello. All right, thank you, Anna. We're going to move on to another one. What do we have coming in next? Okay, next up is Mackenzie. Mackenzie Mooser says, will there be any opportunities in my romantic / social life in the new coming weeks that I might miss? No, I don't think you're going to miss any of these. I think that it's an important time. You can come up here. Let me hold you. I think it's an important time for you to be an active listener in communication. All right. So a key to success here is going to be you making sure that when you're talking with people, you are really listening to their responses to your questions. You're listening to the kind of questions they're asking. You're listening in general to the things that they're saying, because there's a lot of opportunity here for deeper connections. It's almost like the next time I'm talking with this person, the conversation gets more in depth. It gets maybe more personal. You know, it becomes more enlightened. It is because you could read for a while as being very preoccupied with like your thoughts or other things or distractions or something better or what I want to say next, you know, or almost like you're kind of running the conversation through that distracted energy or that energy of like, you know, here's what I think. Yeah, me too. Here, I'm gonna share my experience. This may be a great time for you to be a little bit more reserved, detached, and listening, okay? So that people feel like you care, you know, like you want more of them. If we want to hear more from people, if we want people to engage with us, we have to, and as someone who talks too much, this is always a problem for me, and I'm neurodivergent, so like it's always a problem. But, you know, it really does work to force yourself to say less, to force yourself to slow down, to force yourself to stop being so distracted with all these points of interest and just like engage energetically, you know? I think that would be good for you. That's the only way I think you could miss any of this. But I don't see that happening. No. All right, we are going to move on to another one. Thank you, Mackenzie. Next up is Manny. Manny says, hi, Ivy. Will the last week in September and the first week in October be a good time for us to travel to Madeira Island, Portugal this year? All right, so we're doing the last week in September and the first week in October. Yeah. I think it's a good time. We could also go back a little bit more, you know, so we could go to like the second week in October. It feels like it's not working out with your circumstances as much. So you have a few different options. I mean, August could have also worked for you guys, but there seems to be a bunch of reasons, you know, maybe not quite as many strict reasons, but some other reasons we're not going with that. I think that what this is going to allow for is a little more ease, even if travel itself is a bit chaotic. So take that how it resonates. It seems like getting there could be a little bit nuts. It almost feels like, how do I want to say that? Maybe it's an airline issue, or like it's, I don't know, the in season there or something. I mean, it just feels a little frantic. You know, it feels like there's a lot going on, not just with where you're coming from and where you're traveling to, but in general, like airport related stuff. Okay, so there could be some things happening at that time. Nothing new, okay, especially in recent years, nothing new. But I think once we get past the traveling aspect of this, things really slow down. The symbolism your guides are giving me here is almost like you on like a gondola, you know, or like you just relaxing, like you just sort of, you know, having a great cup of coffee on the, you know, porch. It's like I'm watching the foot traffic go by. I'm watching it's almost like art, you know, art in motion. Now there could be some stuff going on there when you're there, like art shows or things like this, but I think it's going to be relaxing, but also a peak in you being able to energetically revitalize. Okay, so the timing is good. Also, it fits nicely in with your lives. Okay, so that's really important. It's hard to rest and relax when there's a lot going on, like back home, so to speak. Okay, so yes, I feel good about it. We're gonna move on to another one. What is this here? Okay, Ayana. So Ayana says, is the new close friendship that's coming in next for me with Rakaja or someone else? Ayana wants to know about Rakajah. Okay, close friendships coming in. I think that close friendships for you are going to be very free will based for a while. So for the next year to a year and 7 months, your close friendships are going to be based on how well you engage. It's going to be based on whether or not you're showing up stable, you're showing up consistently, you know, you're showing up as someone who doesn't get so tied up in their life that they disappear for big chunks of time, or that you get so tied up in your life that you don't disappear for things that are really important, critical for the other person. And a good example of that, knock it off, Ezzy. Cool it, mama. Another good example of that, come sit, is if somebody were, maybe going through something personally, you know, like this friend is going through a lot and you're like kind of tied up in your own things, not necessarily like problems of your own, but more like, well, I'm having a good time, or I'm off doing this, or I'm off doing that. And so, and you know, they're going through some stuff, but you don't do the check-in, you know, or you see it on social media and you just like drop an emoji, you know, you're not really showing any kind of genuine concern. If you get careless, this could be a problem. And I know you don't think of yourself as a careless person or someone who's dismissive of others, but sometimes we get tied up in life and it can just happen, you know, so you're going to need to be more mindful. If you can do that, it's like you will be elevated, okay, in their esteem. It's almost like they're going to consider you more. It's also about the friendships that you're picking, because someone else could get spooked off by that. So it's like, well, I don't want to be responsible for giving that back. And so they end up flaking. And it's like, well, this could have been a nice friendship. I see this happening with a female, you know, and it's like, okay, you know, you seemed to want to be friends, and then you seem to get like spooked because it is becoming a solid friendship. Maybe you do just want to be around and only deserve to be around people that are like flighty and don't really care, you know, someone who's confused about what they want. So be careful there. Also, if you have a tendency to overreach, overthink about other people, okay, want to control it, ego, fear, manipulation, and control, people are going to sense that. So pull back. Okay, don't want to level anything up. Only want what is true and good. Okay, and honor wherever things are at the time, because that sense of wanting or needing is going to run them off. Okay, and that includes this Rakaja. All right, let's move on to another one. Thank you for that question. I do have, Ayana, I have a new series out on friendships also. Okay, so you may want to check out my vids. I've only gotten like 2 tips up so far because a bunch of people are asking follow-up questions. There's probably like a series of like 7 or 8 vids. 2 of them are the tips for the series, and the rest are just follow-up vids. But there's quite a lot there already, and I just launched it. So it's very interesting. Check it out. All right, we're going to move on to another one. Edgar says, will I pass the law and ethics exam this May? I took it last month and was 4 points away. Okay. I second guessed myself on many questions. Yeah, I see that. That was going to be my reading for you. I don't know that you need this reading because it seems like you already learned your lesson the hard way. Okay. here's what I'm going to say. You have a really ridiculously high likelihood in passing this in May, but technically it's not fixed. Okay, because you didn't take it yet. So it's up to your free will. All right, how well you actually do. And my advice to you in this was going to be exactly, essentially what you just said, which is get out of your own head. Try not, when you hit a question where you're unsure about the right answer, try to make your decisions not from logic, which is already causing a lot of overthinking. Okay. Try to make your decisions from your intuitive intelligence and keep your emotion out of it. Okay. So we have 3 different types of intelligence. We have emotional intelligence, which ranks the lowest. Think of how many times your feelings have, definitely steered you the wrong way. And then we have logic, which often matches our intuition, but not always. And logic can be almost like a bully in your brain. It can almost haunt you and sort of become cyclical patterns of thought, and it can make you very double-minded, and it can make you panic. Okay, so you want to think of your logic, right? That type of intelligence as being almost invasive sometimes. This is how you can tell the difference. And then you've got your intuitive intelligence. Intuitive intelligence is never wrong. It never lies. Energy never lies because it never changes. What is true is true. It is the still small voice. It's not going to be loud like your feelings or bullying you, okay, making you panic like your logic. It's just calm. It's centered. It brings you a sense of peace when you tap in with it. It is always the same answer. Okay. And so you may want to practice with this, like before you get in there. Like, we don't want the day of the test to be the first time you're taking a test using your intuition versus your logic on the questions where you're stuck. We don't want that to be game day. You know what I mean? So work with it a little bit, toy around with it. All right. And you have to learn yourself in this. It's learning how your body reacts. Okay. It's learning how your intuition really works in situations like that. Also, beware of questions that are set up. I don't know if this is multiple choice. I mean, I thought it was. Take it out, resonates. But beware of questions that are set up like in a bullshit way, where technically there could be 2 right answers. I don't have 2 wrong answers here. I've got 2 right answers. And it's like, well, now wait a minute. Can they do that? And it's like, they could probably do whatever they want. They could probably get away with whatever they want. But the way it's set up is like these answers are so close. They're off by like 1 word, okay? Or the structure of the sentence, or like 2 words. But one of the words would be like are, or, they instead of that. It's a trick question. So anywhere you get stumped, okay, like that when you're practicing, go back over those. But I think something about this version of the test, whether it's a new version or your brain is just really different, looks easier than it was the first time. So yes, I'm confident you'll do well in May. All right, let's move on to another one. This is Amy Grant on TikTok. Sorry, that's so crooked, you guys. It honestly wasn't until I hit the live button, I swear to God. All right. Amy Grant on TikTok says, can you tell me if Nino is going to commit or should I move on? You should move on. If Nino commits, it's going to be a game. Okay. It's going to be like a scam. It's going to be because Nino doesn't plan on staying or sticking around much longer. All right. And there may be some reasons that like, okay, well, Nino can benefit from agreeing, okay, to commit. And so it's really just extracting your time, attention, affection, energy, your free emotional labor. You have a problem. I'm going to be straight up with you where you overreach regularly with people, you have a tendency to want more out of people, or to want people to stay, or to want things to be more serious, or to want things to be different than what they are, or because I invested, I'm expecting that things will become more. And it's like, you weren't supposed to do it that way. You were supposed to wait until they were investing before you invested anything. You did it backward. And that adds pressure, that creates demand. Like, I must get paid out for this investment. You know, put an end to that. Put an end to that system, that cycle. You made it, you designed it, you chose it, but you choose it repeatedly with many different people. And it's a dysfunctional system, okay? It's supposed to be that Nino should have been committing to you in consistency and transparency and active listening and a desire to build our life for the future, a desire to work like a team, not just like, you know, trusting. Nino can always just trust that you're going to be there, just hoping and kind of doing it all. Like, you're just doing the most. Like that, you went about it the wrong way. And when you set a tone at the beginning of a relationship, you will eventually, in a situation like this, have to back that bus up. You know, you've got to like, so no. I also, though, I just want to say this before I move on. I think that even if you had started this relationship on the right note, meaning I'm not putting anything emotionally, mentally, energetically, literally, verbally into this relationship until Nino has proven to me, okay, that there's some level of stability and dedication and interest and validity here. I think had you done it that way, you would have seen this person long gone. And that says everything you need to know, okay? Because this isn't someone who wants to work at it. So it's like, what? You're expecting something out of me? Well, I'm out of here. And that's what we want to know about people, okay? Even though that sounds scary, we want to know before we invest anything in them, whether or not they are wanting to invest as well, okay? Because those that don't are just there to take. And you have enough of that to last a lifetime here. So no, I don't think so. And like I said, even if he did, it would not be for the right reasons. And I would be very concerned that you would get a little too comfortable with the fact that it happened, and then the rug could get pulled out from under you. Okay. So it needs to be legit, or it needs to be gone, and your standards need to go up. Okay. Be real tight, people, real tight on what you give before it's earned, deserved, proven. Okay. Real tight. All right, let's move on to another one. Hello, Ezzy. You just staring, Mama? What are you staring at, honey beans? I love you. I love you. All right, let's move on to Maraid. Hi, Ivy. Is my friendship with Ava strictly platonic? Ava for Maraid? I mean, I don't think so. That's funny because I feel like I got this with you before. You know, if you're interested in swinging that way, I think Ava is very interested, but in a kid-like way, in a conservative, I'm unsure, almost like a giggly, it's like tee-hee, I don't know. I don't know if this person's into like Japanese anime or something. But it's almost like, I'm a character and I don't know, you know, or like, I don't know how to do this. But it's like, really? Because, you know, she seems to have explored quite a lot. I think that there's room for that. And I think it could be interesting. I do think that you want to play it like lightly, you know, where it's sort of like, well, you know, if she comes to me for more in any way, shape, or form, whether it's communication, you know, it's flirting, it's sharing sexual experiences or talk in that way, it's sharing emotionally and mentally more, so that like we are deepening the levels of intimacy, because I do see, demisexual here. And so that's, because what is demi? Isn't that like you can only be with someone if they are smart or else you're turned off? I'm seeing sapio as well, sapio. So it's like we have to have emotional connection somehow in order for me to get turned on. I don't know that that's you. I think that's her. Okay, so you could see with a person like this a lot of sharing before it can go into that territory. And to someone who's a sapio or demisexual, it's going to be like, that's the flirt. You know, other people may be like, oh, wow, this person really wants to get to know me or whatever. And it's like, yeah, but also, even if she did just want to have a fling, this would have to come first, you know, or she can't get turned on. So there's a little complexity going on there. And some of that may refer to you as well. Take it how it resonates. But ultimately, I feel like there would be a while of like playing and letting her sort of come to you and direct, you know, where she wants things to go. And then you're just having a very sort of centered, mature, calm, cool, collected attitude about it, where it's like, yeah, you know, I'm ready for that. I'm responding to that. From where you are without any sense of like pushing it or overreaching. You know, it almost feels like maybe you're older than this person. You are more mature whether you're older or not. Okay. And I think that's a big element here because it almost feels like it balances. Maybe like masculine, feminine energy is a good way to say that. So yeah, there's definitely something going on here. It doesn't look platonic to me. I mean, it could be if you guys want to keep it that way, but it doesn't have to be. That's a better way to say that. All right, thank you, Mairead. We are going to move on to any more if we have any more coming in. This is also the last call. So if you guys have a yes or no question you need an answer to, this is your opportunity to drop your $10 donation and drop your question. It is unlimited tonight, so you can ask as many questions as you want. I do ask that you include the first name or the initials if you're referring to a person, a situation, a specific like job or address, okay, and things like that. So let's go ahead and move on to another one here. Okay, we're going to move on to Edgar. So we have another one coming in for Edgar. Will April 2026 bring me more abundance or blessings? I finish my clinical hours next month, which is April. Okay. And have been waiting for this moment for over 2 years. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't really know how it couldn't with all of that. Okay. Sometimes with a situation like this, and this is the first thing I'm seeing, is that you need to learn how to sort of work situations like this. Okay. And what I mean by that is understanding that we want to revel in the energy. We want to become immersed in the energy. We want to stay in the flow of whatever energy we want more of, we appreciate, we enjoy. It is, I think, a bit of a life lesson for you to learn how to do that instead of saying like, will the universe reward this? You know, what will come to me? How will it feel? This and that and the other. It's like, it's going to feel how I say it's going to feel. And the way it's going to feel is like I'm celebrating 24/7 every single day. Okay. For the rest of my life, because I just put all this time and effort and energy into this. So making the decision to actively think about approaching that time and then celebrating once you're in that time is how you receive even more blessings and stay in the flow of abundance. This does bring, though, in this sort of literal sense, some significant opportunity for you in regards to, feels like being taken more seriously. So like somebody may be offering you a position. I just heard like offering you a job. Okay. So other jobs could also be more readily available to you after that, outside of even where you are. but somebody may be offering you a position or like a promotion. This seems to come through some type of meeting or conversation. And it's almost like they're looking back at everything you've done, your portfolio, your files, and they're saying like this and this and this and this, you accomplished all of these things. And now it's like, this is the cherry on top. Okay. And so let's get you in here. Things seem to move really fast. Okay. Is the second thing I'm seeing. So like, if things have felt sluggish, where you're just like, I'm freaking drudging along here, man. Like I am doing everything. I'm dotting my I's, crossing my T's. I'm trying not to complain and bringing a positive attitude. I'm learning along the way. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be present with where I'm at, not like always in the future and anxiety and like, you know, going too far ahead. I am doing my best, but my God, things are moving slow. Things are going to speed the F up. So there will be no more delay. Blocks and obstacles are going to be removed. I mean, these are all blessings, but I think the most important blessing is that you're really, really feeling it. Okay. Because sometimes we can accomplish something and we're like, on to the next. And I could totally see you doing that. All right. So one of the big lessons here, okay, is stay in the energy. And practice. Okay. Practice doing that. I took out a big loan for something recently. And I looked at it the other day. I was like, when is this paid off? And it's at like 96%. And I was like, oh my God. And then I started focusing on it, but in such a way where it's like, let me get to the end. Let me get to the end. Let me get to the end, you know, because I love a challenge. And I swear to God, it just slowed down. Like everything I can put in toward it is just slowing down because I'm doing that. I should have just been celebrating the energy of 96%. You know what I mean? It's amazing how quickly we could be in the flow or we could be out of the flow. I mean, all it takes is one thought in the wrong direction, you know, or one thought in the right direction. So something to be excited about. Congratulations, Edgar. Amazing. All right, let's move on to another one. We have another one coming in here from Maraid. I got all my regulars here tonight. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. All right. Next one up is Maraid. Maraid wants to know, I have a deposition for my lawsuit coming up this week. Will everything go okay during that meeting? Okay, I feel like there may be some intimidation from my previous boss, Heather. Okay, let me look into that. Interesting. Well, I do feel like my jaw is getting stuck. So this could be stressing you out. She could be trying to stress out, not just you, but like anyone else involved or the situation. I'm hearing she's trying to stress out the situation. I don't know if she's got some Libra energy or what's going on with her, but she's got a real way of kind of playing both sides of the fence. She's got a way of just not standing for anything. You know, she's got like a nails down the chalkboard, a tone in her voice. So she's just irritating me. I think that, you know, and nothing against Libras, but you guys are, you know, Libras are incredibly skilled at manipulation, incredibly skilled at manipulation. And Libra women in particular, who I love, it's some of the darkest stuff I've ever seen has come from Libra women. So, I mean, she's in the spot to do that 100%. She seems to know the game. She seems to know exactly what she's doing. This has all been planned ahead of time. It's almost like she told her lawyer, okay? It's not like her lawyer is instructing her. It's like she instructed the lawyer, her lawyer, whoever represents her, okay? Whatever that team is. Like she instructed them better than they could even instruct her. And then they gave some additional, knowing the ropes, you know, tools that could be used. But, and she's quick at picking them up. She's pretty good at picking them up. But I think ultimately the most important message I'm hearing here is like, don't get psyched out by any of it because she holds no power. So, you know, could it look like she holds power? Could it be deceptive? Could it, you know, cause you to grind your teeth or give you a headache or what, you know, could it? Sure. Does she hold power? I don't think so. And so this is a definitive situation. Like the facts are already known, okay, is how this feels to me. And if this is like a judge overseeing it or whatever, you know, whether it's now or after, it's like that person who makes the final decision on this and the person just before the judge who seems to give any clarification or piece it all together, they seem to know already how this is going to go. Okay. I also feel her treading water a lot, like basically talking out both sides of her mouth or she's talking shit. Thank you for the hearts on TikTok. It's like she's not being honest is how that feels to me. Okay. So what that can mean is that that's obvious. But it's provable. Like it's proven. Okay. So she may get caught, like busted flat out in a lie. Because everything's documented, times, dates in particular, okay, come up as a problem with her. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. I think it's going to go well. It's time for this. Okay. I heard just stick to what you know. Just stick to what you're supposed to say or you know to say. Okay. And let's move forward. Good luck, Mairead, on that. We're going to move forward with another one. Do we have any more coming in? Ayana. Okay, Ayana says, an old friend, Deashiha, Desire, reached out to me recently. Are her intentions good or do I need to stay away? I would stay away. I think that just even her name says a lot. It's like desire. It's like I have this desire to have things, to attain things, to hold on, you know, to people or situations that can give me what I want. You know, there's a lot of taker energy here with her. She may have proven in the past to be inconsistent, undesirable as someone who you feel, I'm not saying, you know, you need her to be your ride or die, but I mean, you need her to at least freaking show up when it's important. You know what I'm saying? Like, she doesn't seem to be able to really offer the bare minimum in a relationship. She's incredibly self-absorbed. She's very self-centered. She is very immature too. I don't know if she's got some, I can't prescribe a diagnosis, but some mental stuff going on. She may also have avoidance and escapist personality, which can lead to things like addiction and you know, drinking, drug use, excessive video game playing, being obsessed with things like dating. Like a lot of people who are just like chronic daters, they're really just avoidant and escapists. They may as well hit the bottle. You know, it's like, it's all the same thing on a different day. I think that she doesn't know how to sit with herself and she doesn't know herself. Okay. So people like that don't have anything to offer anyone else. Like you can only give to other people from as much as you have given to yourself. Okay, right? As he agrees. Hi, Mama. Did you say hello? Can you say hi? So I'm gonna go with no on this. You guys seem to have decent conversations. I mean, maybe that's fine. You know, we don't have to say no to everybody. And we don't have to always break up friendships. Sometimes we could just keep people where they belong and not promote them too early or demote them when necessary. Okay, thank you for the hearts on TikTok. All right, so there are a lot of ways to handle this. But no, I wouldn't be letting her in until she can prove it, and that may take a long time. I also feel like she looks to you for her identity, which is really weird. That's the second time in this reading with you I got that she's very immature. It's almost like sometimes people don't know who they are unless people tell them who they are. And so if you were to say things, she'd be like, yeah, that's who I am right now. Yeah, that's how I think. That's how I feel. That's what I believe. And it's like, okay. You also run the risk with people like this, and I'm going to wrap this message up with this, of them getting jealous of you, you know, because you do have a strong sense of self, Ayana. You do have a strong sense of where you're going. You have a strong sense of duty to yourself. So it's like something needs to change, something needs to be fixed, or I need to detox, or I need to rearrange. Like I'm going to hustle on that. I'm going to get that done. You love yourself. You care about yourself. And people like this who have no sense of identity can latch onto you and then become jealous of you and try to act like it's normal. Okay. And it's like, That's not normal. Jealousy is not safe. It's not something everyone goes through. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't get too, it feels like a little sister energy. I don't know. It always creeps me out a little bit. Okay, thank you, Ayana. We are going to move on. Do we have any more coming in? Next one up is Tiffany Williams from TikTok. Hello, Tiffany. Tiffany says, am I on the right track to help propel my current career forward? Okay, so Tiffany, is Tiffany on the right track to propel the career forward? I think so. You recently chopped some things off. What was on the chop block? What had to get cut? You may have also cut someone off, like cord cutting, which is a totally different topic, but you know, all of these things have freed you up to have more energy. I heard exertion is going to be required. So the path that you're on, I don't want to sugarcoat. You've got 3 years of high investment here. All right. So you've got 3 years of needing to put nose to the grind, mind your own business, stay on your path. There's a free mini class up on my YouTube at AskIvy the Medium called Fighting the Dark, where I talk about the 5 different ways, new level, new devil, the 5 different ways you sort of go under attack when you are leveling up in any significant way. It is a science. It will always be this way. Sometimes it's you, but usually it's people outside of you or tests. This is not a time to be making a bunch of new friends. This is not a time to be letting new lovers in your bed. This is a time for you to, again, okay, nose to the grind, mind your own business and stay in your own lane. Bottom feeders will also start to come in approximately 2 years before you hit a peak. And so people who just know how to consume, they know how to extract, they're very skilled at riding coattails, okay? So this is a period of time for you to say no to a bunch of people and situations. And I think that as long as you're exerting the effort, the energy in consistently for about 2 years, you're going to find that this sets you up nicely. I heard platform, but I was going to say foundation. So Spirit's calling it a platform. And I'm saying it's a foundation for the rest of your life, meaning you can use these opportunities as leverage. You can use the resources coming in for more. We can network more, partnerships, title expansions, 2 of them, 3 other opportunities that could look like contracts, partnerships, again, things like this coming up. Yeah, right around year and a half, not a year. I don't, maybe, could it? Holy shit, maybe. I mean, hey, let's roll with that. Let's say a year. I was going to say 1.5 years. Wow. This looks pretty freaking good. This looks good, girl. I think just don't get distracted with bullshit. Don't get distracted with other people's crap. Don't, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm eating and treating my body like it's an absolute temple. It's like I am the queen on the throne with the sword at her side. It is, I am not entertaining anything that is below me. It is, don't bother me. It's, I'm at work. You know what I mean? And then I'm at peace. I'm at rest. I'm well balanced. I'm hydrated. Okay. It's like, that's it. That's it for a while. Let's make this work. Let's make it happen. Yeah, I think so. That looks good. All right. We're going to move on to another one. What else do we have coming in? You okay, Izzy? It's cold in here. I think she's freezing. Okay, we are at time. It looks like I got to everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you want to book a reading, a party, or a psychic fair with me, I do work internationally. It's a super simple self-booking system. So you can go onto my website, Ivy Rivera, psychicmedium.com. Yep, you can book your summer party now, your spring party, corporate events. I do gallery shows, the psychic fairs, all the things. Okay, so go check it out and don't forget to get registered. Coffee with Your Angels is Tuesday. Reiki registration deadline is the 9th. The actual Reiki training is March 14th. And tomorrow, if you want to join the monthly mini class as a YouTube member, it is for all 3 tiers of membership options. Okay, so tomorrow's mini class is tools for discernment, using your clairvoyance for better judgment. And go onto my YouTube at AskIvy the Medium to become a member to get in on this month's mini class. And also we have coming up, what is my next show, Diana? Oh, do we have more questions coming in now? Okay, that's fine. I can keep going. But I was going to say, Diana, if you could take that down. Okay, that'd be great. And then I think I'm back. I think I'm back Wednesday. Is Wednesday all spirit messages? I believe it is. It is actually. I'm positive. Okay, so yes, thank you. Okay, so Wednesday is all spirit messages. So that's my show that you guys voted in for the 2026 lineup, where I do mediumship the entire time. So I'm channeling your angels, your guides, your deceased pets, your loved ones, your ancestors, literally anyone who wants to come through and give you a message. And you can ask specific questions of them and ask to hear from specific people. Okay, do we have more? I see more coming in here, Diana. You just let me know if we're wrapping it up or if I'm going to continue. Sometimes we have a false call. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to wait. I've got more coming in here. Okay, next up is Demetrius. Demetrius says, hey, Ivy. Hi, Demetrius. Do you see my move to Marietta, Georgia this year being a success? Okay, Marietta, Georgia. I do. I think that something happens there. There may be more art, culture, music. I see you walking down the street and it's like, I got a chai or some kind of weird tea, or it's like a rose, something, hibiscus, something, you know, or maybe, you know, sometimes like a cup of coffee. I got my, you know, it's like I have my drink and I'm just walking, and it reminds me of New York. How you could just have something so simple and just walk the streets and you're living in art. I mean, it's just amazing. There is this feeling of you being like, no, I'm home. I hear a guitar, but it's a lot more than just that. Okay. So that aspect is something your soul has been starving for, because you're like a freaking sponge. You're like, okay, I'm just taking in the culture. I'm basking in this. I am right where I belong. I don't know that it's your forever home. I mean, I could see you moving between like 3 and 4 years out, maybe even looking at it the second year, like having some ideas about what's next, maybe even overseas. New Orleans keeps coming up here too. So I don't know how serious you are about that, but you know, you seem to be going there to pick certain things up. So I almost see you like a little video game. You know, if you were like Pac-Man, you're trying to get these pellets so that you can like turn around and eat the ghosts, and the ghosts are like super points. And so it can mean that there were things in your life up until this move that have sort of held you back or haunted you a little bit, and you're ready to release. It's like, I'm ready to drop it all, drop this baggage, drop these bricks, get this monkey off my back, take the chains off, shed that old skin, whatever it is, get in your butterfly wings, okay, and off you go. And it's like you're really good at everything there, all right? On top of it, it's like you're really good at everything. I'm not saying you're not good at things where you are, but it's almost like you're invisible. It's like I keep trying and trying, and like nothing's moving, you know, or things move minimally, or I think it's going to be something bigger. And people even told me it was going to be something bigger, and then it didn't. Like, it's stalled out. Why is this happening? Because your roots are dead where you are. Okay. And once the roots are dead, we can't get any more nutrients out of that space. We must move. And this is a great spot for you. So it's like a lot of payouts coming in and blessings from things you already did or created, but it's like you couldn't get paid out where you were. You will get paid out there. And everybody wants a piece of you. Everybody wants you involved. So I love it. I think this is good for you. Have fun. I don't think I've ever been. I'm from Savannah originally. And I don't know that I've ever been there. I think my father lived there for a while. Interesting. Okay, so we have more coming in. Okay, so this is just, I think, feedback from Tiffany on TikTok. She said, hey, Ivy. Hi, Tiffany. Thank you. I love your no bullshit advice, and thank you for letting Spirit talk to you. Thank you, Tiffany. I do my best. Yeah. No point in sugarcoating anything. Demetrius says, wow, thank you so much, Ivy. This spoke directly to me. I am so excited for you, Demetrius. This was really fun. I wonder, too, if you're going to do videography, you know, like I'm walking down the street and I got my latte and like there's the guitar and da-da-da-da-da and these dancers and this art and like da-da-da-da-da. You know, when you live in a space where everything around you is a movie, it just, life is sweeter. And you may choose to share that with the world, and I think you should. I will totally follow. Okay, very exciting. Did I get to everyone? I think we're good. All right, I'll see you guys back here for Wednesday's show, All Spirit Messages. And you can get your early questions in now. It is going to be unlimited. And if you don't have a specific question for a spirit, you can just leave it open. Okay, so it's like whatever I, need to receive at this time. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Diana. Thank you, Spirit. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.